Today, man, we're wrapping up WWE Elite Series 117 with Axiom and Naomi. And not only that, man, we're going to be ranking the entire set from worst to best. We used to do My Damn Thoughts. Everybody kind of chimed in. They said they wanted to see the full set ranking in the last two-figure review. So today, we're going to wrap it up with Axiom and Naomi, wrapping up a very damn stellar wave, if I might add. And at the end, we're going to rank all of the figures in WWE Elite Series 117 from worst to best, in my own opinion, and break it all down for you, man. But today, we are taking a look at Naomi and Axiom, and we will get into the rest of these figures later on today. But if you guys missed our reviews of Grayson Waller and Rhea Ripley, or Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns, go check those videos out on the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. But today, we are diving into Naomi and Axiom, which are both really stellar, man. I think a lot of people are pumped up for these figures. A lot of people wanted to see Axiom really early on. A lot of people are saying that this Naomi is one of the top elites of the year. So we're going to dive into that today, find out if that is true or false. Is it factor cap? All those different things. We're going to find out all about it, man. But if you guys like what you see, you like Elite Series 117, you want to add some new wrestling figures to your collection, go over to Ringside Collectibles, use promo code MDTOYS to save yourselves 10%, man. But it's kind of crazy because a week from almost today, we're going to be out in Las Vegas. We're going to be breaking down figures. We're going to be there in person to break it all down for you, and I cannot wait for it, man. But today, we're looking at Naomi and Axiom of Elite Series 117, and I couldn't be any more happier here, man. Really great gear on this Naomi. I think it looks really stellar. Reminds me a lot of her Elite. What was that? Dude, that was a while back, I feel like. What was that? Elite? Maybe, I don't think it was Elite 78, right? It wasn't Elite 78. I want to say it was maybe after that. I can't remember, man. The late 70s waves kind of run together for me. You know, I like to think that I have an encyclopedia of WWE wrestling figure knowledge, especially in the Mattel space. But I don't know. I also have an idea for a show one day that I may run by you, you know, but some people know about that already. But here we go. We have Axiom here, and this figure looks really good too. Every time I see this, it just reminds me of a Power Ranger or something like that, so I'm excited for that. I think you could have some intriguing things going on here and everything like that. Looks toyetic. We'll see how he compares to the rest, but this is his first figure, and he's also the Chase in pink, which looks really cool. Wish I had that Chase figure here today, but we do have our Navy version. I think it looks pretty good. We have a shot of Axiom there, and then on the back you have him kind of frog splashing there, and he looks pretty damn good, man. So what we're going to do is crack both these figures out, find out what they're all about, and then if you stay tuned to the end of the video, we will be ranking the set from worst to best, man. But let's crack them out and see where Naomi and Axiom are going to fall in that ranking here today. So here we have Axiom and Naomi out of the packaging, and I'm liking what I'm seeing here, man. We got a couple of good figures here, man. I mean, I don't know. This whole wave is very impressive. Very impressive wave thus far. For WWE Elite Series 117, I feel like the quality of each figure and the representation of each character across each wave has gotten really consistent. I know we've said that over the last couple years, but I don't know. There was a time there where it kind of got worrisome, but we won't know how these fare until we dive into the details, man. So what we're going to do is look at Naomi's accessories and Naomi first, and then we're going to run it back and take a closer look at Axiom's accessories and Axiom. And now we have Naomi's accessories, and she comes with pretty much, I mean, down to this and Roman Reigns' hoodie, and this is probably going to take the cake over the hoodie. The best accessory in the entire line has to be this fur entrance coat, which is just unbelievably nice. And you'll see here, I feel like you could probably put this on a Macho Man, man. You got the green stars in there with the black faux fur. You have this like lime green voltish yellow faux fur also going around the collar. It also has a hood on it. It fits the figure well. It's incredibly just nice, man. I feel like I could curl up in a ball and just crawl inside here and go to bed. You know what I mean? It just feels that good. It's a nice looking robe and jacket. The stars look good. This is one of the best cloth goods I feel like Mattel's ever done. It's that good. It's a very good jacket. Reminds me a lot of the John Morrison one, but a little bit more high detail and higher quality. Just insane. Just absolutely incredible. This is the kind of stuff we love to see in the Elite line, and this probably wrapped up a whole bunch of budget, which is why Seth Rollins is naked in this entire wave here. But this is a very high quality jacket, and it deserves its flowers. Very nice deal here to go with your Naomi. But for your interchangeable hands with Naomi, you do get a pair of just regular mic holding hands, and then she does come with a pair of fists to beat the hell out of Jade Cargill and put her through the hood of a vehicle. So getting into Naomi, man, starting out at the top, I really like this head sculpt, man. I really like how they captured the hair, and I feel like I've talked about this with Mattel beforehand on how they don't usually, I talk about it more with makeup, and it looks like even on this figure and the Jade Cargill, they added a little bit there, and on Rhea Ripley, they're starting to add some. I know we've seen it from Ronda Rousey in the past and stuff, but I feel like they always leave off face makeup, and they usually don't deco the hair as much as they probably should, like highlights and things like that. And you know, I couldn't, like, I don't care necessarily to a certain extent, right? It's not the biggest deal to me, but I do think, kind of like chest hair, I care about the damn chest hair now. Don't mess with my chest hair. Sound like my dad when we would wrestle when I was younger or something like that. Easy way to get out of a submission move, man. Handful of chest hair, you're getting out of the submission hold all day. But they added the highlight green and black underneath here that looks so good on this Naomi figure if it would focus, for the love of God. So we do have Naomi on the back there in the hair, which I think is so sick. I think that's awesome. Reminds me of Mercedes or, you know, Sasha Banks, something like that. But this is pretty sweet, man. I think this looks really, really good. Another thing that they do well on women's figures is they always give them unique sculpts. Like this star right here is uniquely sculpted onto the figure itself, so you don't have to worry about it, you know, messing up or being painted on right there. It is completely sculpted. You have glow underneath there, and it is Naomi, so you're going to get this bright fluorescent greenish color there with stars on the sleeves. Very cool gear, you know. It's not the greatest gear of all time, but I still like it. I think it's very unique there. Going down, you do have the stockings, and then she has her own version of Johnny Gargano syndrome, but this is the Alexa Bliss style kick pad that we've seen over the years, but they did give her the new feet, which is awesome. So this is the same sculpt, quote unquote. However, they're changing it up here because this used to be just basic. They used to not ever have ankle rocker on a women's figure, man. This is massive, and I don't think you really, if you're a women's wrestling figure collector, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But for a long time, man, and I talked with Mattel about this and you know, tried to put it over as much as possible. Giving the women's figures this ankle rocker here is huge, and I think that it should call for better figures in the future. But we do have the glow there, but kind of the Johnny Gargano syndrome. I don't hate it, though. I think this is necessarily how it looks in real life, so I'm not going to completely shred it there, but I'm willing to bet it comes up a little higher, but I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. You know what I mean? I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt here. I think this does go, like, the knee pad probably has stars on it, and you can see that the stars are a little low. They probably should come up higher, but not the biggest deal there. You know what? I'm gonna give it a pass here today because this Naomi's pretty damn good. But as far as articulation, you guys know she's not going to be able to move her head really at all besides side to side. Really, you don't get anything there. Diaphragm, you get a little shifting here, and you get a tiny ab crunch. One thing about it I'd like to test one day on surgery is if you pop off the upper torso of these style torsos, like an Ultimate and stuff, if you pop that off, I think if you Dremel, like if you see the hole, I don't know if you guys can see it, but where the peg comes out, if you Dremel down a little bit more, I feel like you could get a better ab crunch, and I may test that out one day on surgery. If you guys want to see that, you can let me know here. But real OGs are watching this third review of Elite Series 117, seeing the ranking, watching the review of Naomi and Axiom. You guys are the real OGs, and I appreciate you so much here. But as far as the arm, it can go above 90, you get full rotation. One thing that's beautiful to see is you guys remember around Elite 94, the women's figures were really struggling to get those arms all the way down. I'm really liking to see this improved here. Bicep cut, great double jointed arms there. You get wrist hinge and rotation, which is beautiful. And then she can kick forward really good there. On the other side, she can also kick forward about 90 degrees, I'd say, maybe just above if you get it tweaking a little bit there. And then she can go out to the side. You do get upper thigh cut. You do get a nice pinless double knee that's not tight. Not tight, I say, not stiff is what I should say. You get boot rotation, you get ankle rocker, and it does go up and down. Pretty damn sick, if you ask me. I like this Naomi. It's very, very nice and high quality. If you're a Naomi fan, I think you're going to dig this one a lot. But let's get into some figure comparisons for you. So for your Naomi figure comparisons, I do believe this is the Elite 78 Naomi, if I'm not mistaken. But you have the regular edition and the chase, and I love both versions. I think they're great, but you can see fluorescent green is something that this woman has rocked for years and years. But it is pretty cool to see. She also has the SmackDown Women's Championship, like the glow version, which I think is cool. And both of these figures were really good at the time as well, and I used to think they were pretty damn perfect, but look at the improvements, man. I mean, you have, I think these also had double jointed knees. Yeah, this is like right around the time, I think Elite 72-ish, right in there is when women's figures started to get the double jointed knee feature like the men's figures. So we do get double jointed knees there, but they still had those damn basic articulated feet here, those kick pad feet that they still give Becky Lynch, for the love of God. They still had those. You could see her feet don't even sit flush here. Same boot mold there. I think she was wearing her sneakers here and they just painted it weird with metallic gold, but I like this Feel the Glow gear. You can see the ombre hair. They've come to do that with Naomi a lot, but I used to love these head sculpts too, and I think the new one looks even more like the character, and you'll notice that she does have a little bit more height here, so this is pretty sweet, man. I think that this Naomi is a damn good figure, but her last two were damn good as well, and if you want to, let's go ahead and do this because I think it's going to look pretty damn sweet. We're going to take the Elite 78 Chase figure here, and we're going to put the SmackDown Women's Championship on here. If you guys wanted to do that for your display, look at that right there. That looks pretty damn good, man. I mean, look at that right there. I don't know how you could possibly be upset with that. That looks absolutely incredible, and I'm happy to have that in the collection right there. But one thing I do want to do is look at a couple other comparisons here. And then for another comparison, we do have the WrestleMania 41, WrestleMania 39 Elite Bianca Belair figure, which I think is so damn good. I think it came in my top 25 Elites of 2024. We have the, of course, Elite 117 Naomi, and then we have the brand new Elite 116 Jade Cargill, and I think all three of these look really, really good up next to each other. They look just like the characters on TV, and I don't really know how you can ask for much more than that. This is a really good Naomi, and I think it fits in really, really well with the rest of your women's division here. So getting into Axiom's accessories, man, we do get a championship belt and some interchangeable hands, and we do have the NXT Tag Team Championship, which is a good-looking championship, and it's cool because he is a current champion, so they got this out at the time of him actually being champion, which I feel does happen from time to time, but I don't feel like it's as consistent as maybe it has been in the past or something like that. I just may have made that up, I don't know, but yeah, we have the championship, which looks very, very good. I feel like it's been a while since we got an NXT tag title. Am I tripping? Then we also have a pair of Mike holding hands, and he has his hand tat on there, which is very nice. And then he comes with these signature hands, which I'm pretty sure are brand new, man, which is pretty cool. This is kind of like I Summon Blue Eyes White Dragon or Attack Your Life Points Directly style hands, but or, you know, Dirk Nowitzki hitting a 3. That's kind of what these hands are here. They're slightly different than the traditional entrance hands like we get with Randy Orton or Seth Rollins. And to prove that I'm not full of shish, here's the difference. You guys can see there. There is a slight change there, so it's definitely different. It's definitely a different expression, which I think is really, really cool. So getting into Axiom, starting out at the head sculpt, man, I like this mask sculpt a lot. I think it does look like his mask sculpt, which I think is beautiful. I don't know how you can get really much better than that, so you don't really have to talk about too much likeness, but I think it does capture the shape of the mask and the colors and everything like that. I like the royal blue, gold, and red. Kind of reminded me of Tulsa Golden Hurricanes. If I have any Tulsa Golden Hurricane fans down in the comment section below, man, you got to chime in down below. I bet there's not one. If you are the one, you can let me know there. But don't be fake, man. Don't be fake. I want a real Tulsa Golden Hurricanes fan. But this looks pretty sweet. Reminded me of the Power Rangers. Even get this sculpted stitching on the back of the mask, which is very sweet as well. They did give him the Daniel Bryan torso, which you guys know I'm not a fan of. Do not like the Daniel Bryan torso, but for some people, I can give it a pass. On this one, I can give it a pass, though I would like to see something else here. I think that it does work. I don't hate it or despise it. You know, there's a couple guys out there that can rock it, but I just wish that we could get a brand new torso. Like, retire this torso. It's been around since 2010. Can retire it out there. Let's get something new in here, but it is still cool to see here. And I think it, you know, it ages well in terms of performance, I guess you can add, because, you know, his ab articulation and everything's pretty good, but you get the bicep vein here in the double jointed arms. I think these are molded in blue, so if you wanted to customize those, you possibly could, but you have the designs on the sleeves, standard shoulders, and then he does have very nice, like, dude, if this guy, what's so dumb to me is if this guy was made a few years back, they'd have gave him Daniel Bryan legs, but now that he's, you know, we're in this new era where they're kind of giving us a little bit more, you know, they're kind of giving us a little bit more, which kind of, you know, leads me to believe that maybe the Daniel Bryan leg mold is completely disabled because we haven't seen it in a while. We haven't even seen the CM Punk leg mold, so I am liking to see the new ball joints universally seeing, but we do have nice designs going around. It looks really, really good. I like the gold and the red and everything. Got some like Phoenix Eagles style designs going on. Really damn cool, man. I like this gear. I really want the chase though. That pink chase looks sweet as hell, but we also have the blue kick pads. I really like these kick pads too, man. Really nice designs and very toyetic, so you love to see that. New kick pad mold and everything, man. I think Axiom's looking like $100. Now, as far as articulation, he can look down a little bit because it is a mask, but again, man, no ball hinge, so you can't look up that high. You get a little bit of head tilting or pivoting here, and it can go around, as you guys know. Kind of got stuck right there, but ab crunch is decent because it is a Daniel Bryan torso. You can go that far forward and that far back. Not the best of all time there, but all this is your standard stuff, man. Double jointed, bicep swivel, wrist and hinge, rotation. You do get a tight waist here, and then this is something I really like, man. You get the ball joints on the legs here, so he can kick forward pretty good on both sides. Not getting any of that stiffy, liffy garbage that we've come to know sometimes. Solid double jointed knee, a little tight, but not near as egregious as I've seen in the past. Kick pad rotation, do have good ankle pivot, and they do go down and up as always. And this figure feels pretty damn good. I bet this guy, I bet you would find enjoyment posing this guy around because he doesn't have pine cone joints. He is on ball joints. He moves fluidly. It's very, very clean. I like this Axiom figure, and he's just compact, man. I feel like I could like roundhouse a few guys in the mouth, but nonetheless, let's get into some figure comparisons with our Axiom figure. And then for your Axiom figure comparisons, here we have a few different guys that he has done war with over the years, right? We don't have our Nathan Frazier basic just yet to compare him with, so that would be a comparison that we would like to see, right? His basic figure is on the way, which is nice, but we do have Gunther, we have Braun Breaker, we have Carmelo Hayes, and we do have Duke Hudson, just for some different comparisons, I know. You know, not the greatest comparisons, but at least if you were looking to see what he looked like amongst some of the peers of his group or something like that, you could do so. But yeah, I felt like this is possibly the best here while we wait on that Nathan Frazier and things, while we wait on, you know, kind of developments that are taking place. We'll see how it goes, but Axiom is a fire figure, man. I'm really enjoying the way he poses, but at the end of the day, man, I'm ready to rank WWE Elite Series 117. Alright, man, it is that time to rank WWE Elite Series 117 from worst to best, in my own opinion. Now, it's very tough with this ranking because WWE Elite Series 117 was a damn good set. I know no flashbacks. I know it's all modern talent, whatever. This was a tough set to rank. I think that all of them are quality. I don't think there's a single bad figure in this set, or a figure that just makes me vomit into the yard. A lot of quality here, but as we know, here's some of the criteria for the ranking, of course. You know, how excited was I for the figure versus how it was executed? You know, I can have all the hype all day for a figure, right? Like a Luchasaurus, and then it get through the door and be absolute trash. You, of course, have your likeness to the character on TV, posability and feel in hand, execution of details of the figure, you know, like makeup or tattoos or maybe some chest hair or added detail to the gear. Accessories can also play a role. There's a lot of different things there, but let's dive into my ranking, man, starting out at the bottom. And one last thing that I must say is just because a figure comes in at the very bottom of the ranking doesn't mean it doesn't have anything good about it, and I think it's the worst figure of all time. And just because a figure is number one does not mean that it is without any faults whatsoever, and it could absolutely have criticisms. Nonetheless, man, let's start out at the bottom. I am going with Grayson Waller, and actually pains me to say because I think this is a really good representation of the character. I don't hate the gear. I really, you know, I'm not that into the character per se, and I think that when you break down a full wave, to me personally, I think that the other figures are better, or that I'd rather have those figures. I think that this Grayson Waller is a really good one. If you're a Grayson Waller fan, this is a good representation of him. I think that if you want a Grayson Waller, still a quality choice here, and you're not going to be disappointed with it. I just think that for me personally, my only gripes with it maybe are the large knee pads. I just don't like them. I think they're trash. Yeah, I mean, the head sculpt's not the greatest head sculpt of all time, but I think it's serviceable for Grayson Waller. But I don't know. I just think the rest of the set is better, and sometimes that's the way the cookie crumbles, man. Let's get into the number 5 set. We do have Roman Reigns now. The hoodie right here is the only thing that put him above. He comes with a watch. He comes with a hoodie. He comes with a good man bun head sculpt. I know it's not the right man bun head sculpt, and they could have done so many more things to make this figure better. If they had made this figure perfection or whatever, it probably would be within the top 1 or 2, right? But they did not do that. He didn't even come with a championship, so we are going to put him at the number 5 spot. But that tells you how much I love that watch and hoodie. I just think that that's something I've wanted for years, and they finally gave us a hoodie here that's really nice. And so it does put him at the number 5 spot. And also, it's a good figure. It's a good representation of Roman Reigns. It's just not what we wanted, right? So, I mean, there is that. But let's get into number 4. This is probably the hottest take of the video. Probably people will be upset, probably. I'm going with Naomi. I love the figure. I think it's a really good representation of Naomi. It really is, man. I think that it is so much better than other female figures that you see. But I think that at the end of the day, you know, if we're deducting points here and there, you know, it doesn't pose the best compared to other figures here. And like Grayson Waller, like Roman Reigns, looks like the character is great, isn't as good to me personally over the other figures. And that's just, you know, how it is sometimes. Again, just because a figure's lower doesn't mean that it's just the worst figure ever, man. Every figure can be good. Sometimes there aren't bad figures and you have to rank them anyway. That's like the whole challenge of a ranking. Now we're getting into number 3, man. I went with the Axiom figure. I really like it, man. I really like this Axiom. I think that he poses well. He feels good in hand. I love the mask. I love the blue gear. If I had the pink gear version, oh man, the pink gear version I have to track down. I know that's such a toyetic figure. He looks amazing, and really, I have no complaints about the execution of it. I mean, in a perfect world, would I like Daniel Bryan torso? No. I mean, that's how it is, but I think every figure so far here has something that's kind of like that, right? Like your quote-unquote Johnny Gargano syndrome Naomi, or the same damn leg Roman Reigns, or a repaint of Grayson Waller. Like there's things here. There's things here that, you know, across the board, it's just certain things are, you know, take priority over others. But getting into number 2, I did go with the Rhea Ripley figure, man. I really dig the Rhea Ripley. I think it's a great representation of her. I think it can rival her Ultimate. Great gear, has the sternum tat to a certain extent, good head sculpt, good details, right? Like the thigh belts, you have the choke choker, good musculature of the figure. I like the Rhea Ripley. I think it's really good. And last but not least, man, number one, I am giving it to Seth Rollins. Now, I do know that I did put accessories on this figure, okay? I understand I did put a hat and coat on this figure, and it looks nothing like the hat and coat. I did add a championship, and he comes with no accessories. I just had so much fun posing that guy around, man. When I was doing that shoot with Drew McIntyre, go back and watch the Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins review. I had so much fun posing that figure around. I think it's awesome. I love the tape detail on the back. I love how they captured this moment, the white gear, you know, the Nike Fear of God shoes. They did their best there with an attention to detail that looks similar to those shoes. I just like the figure a lot, man. I had so much fun posing them around, and usually that's kind of where I can grasp like how I'm feeling towards these figures. You know, I take it, if it looks like the character captures some good details, I have a ton of fun posing him around. He feels good in hand, all those things. It has a good formula that's fluent. Really hard to keep a guy out of the top three, and I think that that's what you have here, man. That's what you have. So I think at the end of the day, this is my ranking, and I know this video is pretty long, and I do appreciate you guys for staying to this point, but yeah, man, I really like that Seth Rollins. I'm going to have to track down multiples of that figure. I know it's a unique gear, but damn, I had a lot of fun with it, and that's kind of what it's all about, right? But I think that about wraps up the WWE Elite Series 117 Axiom and Naomi figures, man. You know, I think that, you know, if you're not a fan of either character, there's no point, right? I mean, like, if you don't want these people in your collection, you can skip over them. That goes for every review, right? But, you know, Axiom as a first time on the line, really, really good figure. I wish I had the chase again in the pink, but it's a solid figure. You know, I don't like the Daniel Bryan torso, but I know he's kind of an undersized guy, you know. Not the biggest dude ever, but I love the mask sculpt. I think the gear is fantastic. I like the sleeve, very toyetic. One of my only cons with the figure is the hands are really, really loose for whatever reason, so it's very annoying, man. You know, when you interchange hands and they're immediately super loose, just something that grinds the hell out of my gear, so I would like to see that improved in some way. I know a lot of people face that issue sometimes, but the Naomi figure is really damn good. Great looking Naomi. I think that it is her best figure. I love it in comparison to her others, and her others are really good. You know, she's all about the neon and the green. It kind of just goes hand in hand with her. But the figure's fun. It's a fun figure. Fantastic robe on that thing. I think that looks incredible. Just a really sweet thing there. It's probably why, you know, a lack of accessories across this whole entire wave, or, you know, not too deep there. But I love the robe. I love the Naomi. It's a great representation of the character, of course. And like we said in our ranking, I just think that this wave overall is really solid. It's a fun wave overall. I know there's no flashbacks. I know that there's, you know, it's all modern day, current, right now talent. And I think that's okay because of there's so many lines out there to collect for Mattel and wrestling in general. So, you know, Mattel does a pretty good job of checking all those boxes, or at least I think so. Maybe you feel differently there. You can let me know down below. But I feel like they do a good job of attacking each portion of the wrestling fan base when it comes to action figures, but what the hell do I know? But I like both these figures, man. If you want to grab them, I think they're worth the pickup. Again, where are they going to come in the top 25 of the year? I don't know, because there's going to be a lot of great cuts from the list this year, which is insane. Maybe you have to expand it to 50. Who knows? Maybe rank every Elite release this year, which would be insane. But if you guys want to grab these, go over to Ringside Collectibles. Use promo code MDTOYS to save yourselves 10% at Ringside Collectibles. I'd greatly appreciate it and always appreciate them. But man, we are slowly approaching WrestleMania, man. We are almost there. Big epic reveals coming, man. I can't wait to see you all out there. Of course, if you're going to WrestleMania, let me know down in the comment section below, man. But I'm going to get the hell out. And a huge shout out to our Patreon members as well, man. Thank you guys so very much for all the blessings. You guys are such a blessing to me, and I appreciate all of you so very much. But I'm getting the hell out, man. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know all your thoughts down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.